All right. What's up, y'all?
Hello.
Word. We are about to do our rundown show, and I thought we would go live today because we like going live. BMAT is live from suburban Auburn, Alabama. I'm live from suburban Montgomery, Alabama. Brian, you can hear me fine, right?
You sound beautiful. Yep.
Thanks, buddy. Okay, so today, let's go through these things. I do have a little bit of bourbon here, but I think it's probably a little too early to be
Woo.
drinking it.
5 o'clock somewhere, bro.
The 46 is almost gone. I drank 3/4 of this bottle on the last brain drain.
Dang.
Yikes. Let's see who we got on here. Cleveland Brown is in the house. What up, man? AU Law says he's about to take off from Austin. I'm assuming you're going to Gainesville. Is that right? Getting things ready. BP Rockman is on the show. B Matt says, love you guys.
Nice.
And he loves my voice too. Evan says it's never too early for bourbon. You know what? All right, man. I mean, if you say it's never too early, I'm sure my wife won't judge me for taking a drink. This is pretty early. I still got things to do. I got my little beer. This is from the Destin Beer Fest that I went to.
Nice. I feel like I should go get a beer out of the fridge now.
Do you want to?
I mean, probably not. No.
Yeah, okay. This one's to you, Evan, and to all you guys. And also, I want to pour out one to my dog that passed away last week, Howie. My man.
Rest in peace, Howie.
Never actually had a drink with Howie, because he's a dog and didn't drink, but this one's to you, buddy.
He was a good dog.
He was. He was a very nice dog. I'll tell you, you know what? Here's what's weird. So, I don't drink in the mornings, but I do drink in the mornings when I go to the Dominican Republic. And now that I can see out my window and I can see that it's morning and I just drank that, I feel like I'm back in the Dominican Republic. It's weird.
Yeah. Can you hear the waves lapping up against the shore?
I don't care about the waves, man. I'm always in the pool.
All right.
Because that's where the ladies are. Ladies. I don't really like the beach, man. I don't like sand's gristly and shit. I don't know. Not really my scene. I know you're like, you go all the way down there to get in the pool. You can do that in Montgomery. Yeah, you're right. They don't have all that you can drink liquor here, though. I guess they are. But I have to go buy it first. All right, so we're going to talk about some stuff, B-Matt.
All right.
I did not like the answer that Gus gave about DJ Williams last night. Somebody asked him, and he said, he's going to be a good option in the second half of the season, but, when you're going on a big road game like this at Florida, I was like, no.
I hope Booby's ready for 30 carries because it's coming.
Booby.
I just wrote that story, too, how he's settling in with his new running back by committee. So,
yeah. Well, he did make mention of that during the show. He was like, we're trying to keep guys from wearing down. So he's like cognizant about it.
Yeah, he's trying.
He is trying. Got to give him that.
This is better than a lot of people thought going in the season he would actually do. So
he mentioned, like somebody asked him about the anti-tendencies. It was like, you have certain things that you like to do, and then you go against the grain. Like, how do you figure that out? Because I always thought he would do that during a game. But he says we do that during the week, and the only thing they're worrying about during the game is adjustments. So I thought that was kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I got some other shit on here we'll get to, including what he said was the game day meal, which he said was spaghetti, steak, potatoes, green beans, and that's pretty much it. Doesn't that sound really great? I was watching this show on HBO the other day where they follow one college football team for 1 week leading up to their game. This week it was the Florida Gators. It was for the Towson game.
Oh.
And their like spread before the game was like, like a true buffet, like 15 stations or something. And then I'm thinking Gus is like, you can get spaghetti or spaghetti. Get it and eat it. Let's get going.
Let's keep it simple.
Jason says you can buy a whole bunch of liquor for less than a flight to the Dominican Republic. Plus, you won't have to be concerned about dying. Dude, I was never concerned about dying. That whole thing was kind of a weird, I don't know what was going on. I think here's what happened. Some people died from heat exhaustion or whatever, like a normal distribution. Plus, some other people died because of some bootleg liquor, which is bullshit. I mean, I'm not like excited about anybody dying, but they were at a resort that was like really on the low end of the price range, which I didn't feel good about. Anyway,
bargain hunters, sure.
And they got some bad bourbon or whatever, some bootleg, and it was like like that moonshine that you shouldn't drink.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying it's great, but I wasn't worried about dying. And I also want to talk about B-Matt's trip. He was there in the swamp in 1994 to see the Auburn Tigers emerge victorious over the hated Gators, Steve Spurrier-led Gators.
Yep.
I cannot
Me and Yvonne, our younger selves were there 25 years ago. That was like a year after we got married. So we were just married, no kids, nothing, just having a good time. Yeah.
You were married? Dang.
This is one thing I remember about that game. There was a Florida dude, a Florida fan that was wearing like a cape sitting out in front of us. And I just remember him acting like a fool the whole game and then how sad he looked after Auburn came back and won. And I may have said something to him or I may have had some words.
I wonder if BP Rockman would wear a cape. He seems like the kind of guy that would. Him or Mike. Have you ever seen BP? Have you met him, B-Matt?
Many times.
Have you ever noticed how thin his legs are? Like he's like an ostrich.
I've never checked out his legs.
They're like toothpicks.
Does he shave them?
No, but he just skips leg day like his entire life. It's weird. And also Chip is in the chat, and you're going to get a shout out today, Chipper. Just want to let you know that.
Wow.
Because you were for reasons that you know. Well, all right. So let's get the show underway officially. We're going to start taping and doing that whole thing. And do I have my script right here? Hello?
Yep.
Oh, here it is. I got it. I'm ready to go. Here we go. This is a great video, I'm sure. Everybody's really stoked about it. Hi-yo! Hey now. Oh, I screwed that up, didn't I?
Whoops. Try again.
Hi-yo! Hey now. How are you doing? Hello again and welcome to the AuburnSports.com rundown presented by Voodoo Wing Company. This right here, this very podcast is your favorite podcast for all things Auburn and maybe a few NFL teams in need of gentle disparagement, like the team that lost the NFL game last night on a late field goal. I turned the game off because I thought the game was over. It wasn't over. And then you had a missed field goal late.
The Rams, they blew it.
They blew it, man. Greg Zuerlein, right?
Yep. And I also have a shout down for another team last night or yesterday that broke my heart. The Braves blew a 3-1 lead in the last couple of innings. Their base running was atrocious. I just don't know what to say about the Braves in October right now. It's really disappointing.
Yeah, well, you being someone who's paid attention to the Braves, I don't really think of you as a hardcore Braves fan, though.
Not hardcore, but I mean, I've been following them since back in the Rafi Ramirez, Glenn Hubbard, Dale Murphy era. So we're talking about the 70s.
Yeah, no doubt. You are no stranger to heartbreak as a result. And so you probably just kind of felt like it was coming. I feel like a Braves fan should know it's coming.
No, I thought they would win. Well, I thought they were going to win the World Series. I still do. Go Braves.
That's your fault. Okay. Today is October 4th in the year of 2019. This is episode number 411 of this program. We are currently one day away from Auburn's encounter with the hated Gators of University of Florida. That game will be contested in Steve Spurrier-Florida Field in Gainesville, Florida, 2:30 Central Time on CBS. And one person on this show right now is going to be there. I'll let you guess who it is.
Are you going?
It's going to be Brian Matthews.
That's right, I am. I'm going to be there.
And young Nate will be there as well.
That's right.
You guys are going to.
We're road tripping.
I've
packed a cooler full of beer. I've talked to Coach Freeze. He set us up with some fine ladies. We're going to meet down there in Florida. This is going to be the trip of a lifetime, JG.
Sounds like a big time for sure.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you have some great connections. I don't know if you knew this, but he's the guy. If you're going to Florida, he's the guy to talk to.
Have I ever seen you drink a beer? I'm trying to I bet you have. That New Year's Eve party, probably.
You see me drink plenty of beers. It's not that often anymore.
Yeah, you're not really a big drinker. And I don't think young Nate is either, so you guys have to do it sober, I guess. Get it done. My name is Jay Tate. I am publisher of AuburnSports.com. I'm joined, as always, by Mr. Brian Matthews, capital B, capital M, our Ace Team reporter, and a man who everyone from Laguna Beach, California, all the way to Kennebunkport, Maine, knows is a doer of many things. B. Matt Word.
What's going on?
Well,
I don't have anything smart to say. I've already used up all my good stuff. Sorry.
All of your good material is ragging on the Braves.
Yeah.
And we can't talk about soccer.
Peace out.
We can't talk about soccer either.
Big one Saturday, Leicester and Liverpool. So.
My team can't score at all.
They couldn't. Well, no, I probably shouldn't use that joke.
Yeah, I'd rather you not. Before we get started on the Auburn, the hard-hitting football analysis, I want to remind everyone, as you can see down in the bottom right-hand corner of your video screen, and if you're listening on the podcast, you probably can't see it because you're just hearing the audio version of this show, but our show is presented by Voodoo Wing Company, a place that we love going to because the food is awesome, the service is awesome, it's a clean place, and you walk away happy and satisfied. Here's how much I like it. On Tuesday, I went with the boys, even though we didn't tape because some dumbass forgot to bring the equipment.
Nate.
Yeah, we'll blame Nate. And then I went back Wednesday when my daughter went on an official visit to Auburn, considering that for her college home. And then afterwards, we wrapped it up with a dinner at the Voodoo. And, Ding Dong was there and another dude that I hadn't seen before. Ding Dong's actually Michael. But his nickname is Ding Dong, I'm told. I was going to call him Scooter, but whatever. Voodoo Wing Company, of course, is a place where you can get the traditional wings. You can get the boneless wings, which my wife got the other day. She got mango habanero. Is what she got. My daughter got the traditional mild because she doesn't like it spicy.
We need to work on that, JG. That's, she's leaving for college in, another year?
Well, less, yeah.
Yeah, you need to get that fixed. I mean, this is not acceptable.
I know. I feel like she's not my daughter because my wife and I mean, from a very young age, we used to hit the hottest wings we could find. And, what you should
do is go to the store, buy a big thing of cayenne pepper, and just start putting it in everything you eat.
I bet you're not going to do that, are you?
Who, me?
Yeah, because you won't eat anything hot.
I eat spicy food. Medium.
Medium. Then why do you refuse to touch the bomb?
No. That's not food. That's like pain. There's no taste to it.
All right, whatever. G. Gamble on the chat says, can TD and Big Cat stay on side? That's certainly a challenge for those guys.
No. I mean, no, they can't.
Probably not.
There you go. Sorry.
And William's also in the house. He says, hey, boys, I bet William loves some Voodoo Wing Company. We all do. You can check them out on College Street, 0.3 of a mile north of the interstate. You can also check them out just a little bit north of where the Supper Club once stood. For those of you who have been in the area before, in the old days, when the Supper Club was a spot to go, a dining location. Nah, it was more of a drinking location, but whatever. Voodoo Wing Co., you can check them out on the web at voodoowingco.com. How about that?
I had a few good times at the Supper Club back in the day. And on the Supper Club bus, both.
Well, the Supper Club bus was a brilliant idea. I mean,
oh yeah,
it saved a lot of trouble, if you know what I mean. All right, so let's talk about the latest. Tiger Talk last night. Gus Malzahn was on with Andy and not Andy. And as usual, Kim got the first question. I think Kim got the first two questions, actually. Not Andy referred to her as Tim initially. It happens sometimes.
Oh, God, that's not cool at
all.
No,
it's not cool at all. Kim's a Hall of Famer, if you want to know my opinion.
You can't make that kind of mistake.
A question was asked, I can't remember if it was Andy or not Andy, about DJ Williams. And Gus, his answer was more like, DJ's going to definitely help us in the second half of the season. And then but it was like for the Florida game, maybe not as much because he said, it's a big game on the road. BMAT, what does this tell you?
That Jartavius Whitlow's going to get a bunch of carries.
Yeah. Yeah. Anything else?
But I don't necessarily have a big problem with it because this is a big game on the road. It is a big game before an off week. And he had 10 carries last week. I mean, they've done a great job limiting his carries and his touches and his hits over the first 5 weeks of the season. So
yeah,
if they need to give him 20 or 25 carries in a big road game, a top 10 game, do it.
Yeah, well, I like Booby. He just, like we said, he's a Roomba. He just kind of goes in one direction and hits somebody, and then he goes the other direction. Like I don't feel like there's a lot of nuance to his game, but
he is a good player in the second half, though. That plan they had was at Texas A&M where they used him. That was a great plan, and maybe we'll see something similar against Florida because he can really take over games in the fourth quarter the way he runs.
He will bludgeon people. I mean, he'll just lower his head and knock you back. So I'll give him credit for that. But remember, Kenny Irons used to do that for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. There was a good question on Tiger Talk about, Gus certainly has his own tendencies. We all know about that. But sometimes, and more often this season, he's been kind of changing those tendencies, and he goes in a slightly different direction to kind of throw them off. He said on the show that he comes up with that, I mean, he and Dillingham, during the week. And that when they're in a game, all he's doing is thinking about adjustments. Any kind of anti-tendency stuff is something they've already worked out and talked about. Did you know that?
No, but it makes a lot of sense. I mean, you know how he'll have a play and then have a play off that play and then a play off that play and a play off that play.
Yeah, right.
In many ways. So I think he probably has 7 or 8 of those play off that plays ready to go. And maybe he gets to 4 or 5 of them in this game. Maybe he gets to all 8 or whatever. But I mean, that's the way I would do it if I was him. Just line them up each week and have them ready to go.
Yeah, that's probably exactly what they do. They have like a little, scheme where it's like, okay, we'll do this play. We'll do the inside zone, and then we'll do the front side zone with the throw to J.J. Wilson. Then we'll do the option off that. Then we'll do a pass off that or whatever. And you just kind of work your way down.
And especially once they see how the defense is defending his certain formations or plays. And then they'll know what works better or what little play off the play works best against that.
Yeah, I was watching. This is not something about Auburn. I was watching the SEC film room list it was last night, so it was for this week, and it was Will Muschamp, who you guys know I love, breaking down the South Carolina-Kentucky game. And he mentioned how he never gives his pass rushers any pregame instructions or even pre-snap instructions because you have to read how they're defending you each snap. So you don't really give those guys instructions because they need to figure it out on their own in real time. I wonder if Rodney Garner does that. I tend to think that he doesn't. Maybe he's a little bit more technically aware. Not aware, but
I don't know. That's an interesting question.
Yeah. I was surprised to hear that. I thought that was kind of cool because he was like, hey, we don't know if they're going to set vertically or horizontally, and you've got to adjust your pass rush based on what they do. And I thought that's pretty smart. I wonder if everybody does that. I need to ask Rodney that on Sunday. Anyway, it just kind of popped in my head. Another thing that Gus said during Tiger Talk that I thought was interesting, he kind of noted that they were doing a lot of zone blocking early on, certainly in the Oregon game, and that they have moved a little bit more toward the gap stuff. We've seen a lot of counters and powers, which is more of a gap concept. They've been better this way. And I've been talking about this on the bunker, that they've changed kind of the way they're blocking to kind of hide some of their problems up there. Specifically, a lot of down blocks for Caleb Kim, which helps a little bit. And he kind of acknowledged that on the show, saying, yeah, we've changed up a little bit how we're blocking, how we're running the football. It's been a great change for them.
It has, and I think it's turned out more than just a change because they couldn't do something good enough. I think it's turned into a change where they actually do this really, really well. And now it gives defenses something else they have to, sort of prepare for. When you have to prepare for two different blocking styles, 2 different running styles, it makes it much more difficult. And now you got Bo Nix coming into his own as a passer.
Yeah.
You got all 4 receivers healthy. This offense is suddenly becoming really hard to stop.
Yeah, he mentioned that we're getting better on offense. I mean, we know that, but
you can feel it. Yeah.
Another thing you could feel was Sal Canella's blocking the other day. I thought he really upgraded himself as a blocker on the perimeter. He had a couple plays where he was a big-time blocker and cleared up some room on the outside. He also did have a couple that I thought were terrible, but, I mean, we all have highs and lows, right? Even me and Brian. Yeah. Even Brian has a bad hair day sometimes. Your thoughts on Sal Canella just becoming, an important part of this receiving core, Brian?
Well, what stood out to me was the play he made, because that was the best play as a receiver that I've seen him make in his career, other than the catch he made against Washington.
Yeah, it was terrific.
And it was basically sort of a 50-50 type ball, and he outplayed the defender for it, had a nice push-off, but that's okay. Receivers do that all the time. And he made the play, and in the past, he's lost a lot of those battles. And so I've seen him take a step forward there, so good for him.
Yeah, I don't really think of him as winning aerial duels very often, but maybe he's watched Seth do it for so long, he's decided he's going to do it too. I don't know.
But I think having the 4 receivers healthy and having him as a 5th or 6th guy, I think this offense is much better doing that than having him out there for 50 plays a game or whatever.
Yeah, understood. A couple things from the chat. Jason, remember I described Booby as a Roomba earlier. Jason said, yes, a Roomba that drops footballs. Come on, man. Not arguing the point, though. G says, I would like to see more of Joyner in the pass game. I mean, he was the wheel route guy there early, right?
Yeah.
I just feel like he's kind of fallen out of favor with Gus, but he hadn't said that word for word. But
yeah, the one thing I would say, if he can't stay on the field for an extended period of time, for a drive or whatever, and do different things, I don't want him, coming in there and being Devin Barrett, where we all know what play he's going to run.
Right.
So, unless he can do whatever he needs to do to get on the field more, then nah. You got other guys. You got Malik Miller who can come in there. We know can pass block, and we know can catch passes out of the backfield.
Yeah, he's pretty good
He
at
may not
that.
be the perfect guy to run, run the ball off tackle or whatever, but he can do those two things pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right about Devin. That was a little bit. We'll talk about that 20 years from now.
Those are the type of things that I couldn't stand about Gus's offense. But he's not doing those things this year.
Joyner still has a fair number of white knights in the bunker that think that he should be involved in the run game right now, behind or ahead of either Booby, Cam, Malik, Shivers, DJ Williams. I mean, it's just they don't like him as a tailback. I'm not saying why. I mean, I don't. Maybe you guys are right. Maybe Gus is wrong. It could be the case, but even Lack.
They may be right from a talent standpoint. I'm saying maybe. I'm not saying for sure.
Yeah.
But you can't reward players that aren't necessarily putting it all out on the field, during practice.
I hear what you're saying.
If that's a problem, and if you start doing that, then you're going to start having problems throughout your team.
I'm picking up what you're laying down there, buddy. Ethan says he would also like to see more Will Hastings in the slot. Yeah, he's pretty good middle of the field. It's just a matter of, he caught a nice pass the other day. He caught another on a beater route between the hashes. Gus said Mississippi State was leaving it open, and that's what they did. I don't know if Florida's going to do that.
Well, we haven't seen him used on a lot of option routes, have we, this year?
Not as many, no.
So maybe that's something that's coming. Yeah. Maybe if there's a secondary defense that gives that up or is going to struggle against it, we'll see more of that.
Little skippy route. We're not giving skippies. Also on Tiger Talk, the major source of guffaws was a chat about a cornhole tournament that they had during the summer. And the final was a team comprised of two guys that I did not think would be together for a cornhole tournament. Marlon Davidson and Cord Sandberg, the unofficial or official team dad, as Gus Malzahn said. And that duo beat Malzahn and Cody Burns for the title. And Malzahn referred to him as the lefty and said he was pretty salty that day. I wish that I had footage of that.
Well, I mean, Cord's a quarterback, so he figured he had good touch, right?
You would think so, yeah. I mean,
but Marlon, Marlon must be just like a back in the day pro. I mean, he must have a lot of experience or something.
Well, I mean, the time in Greenville certainly would have helped him become good at cornhole. And then in Montgomery, I guess maybe he just kind of galvanized, mentally. Let's see. Mark asks, Jay, what does Towson need to focus on during this crucial bye week? They need to focus on getting healthy after Florida beat their ass the other day, I guess. Speaking of Towson, our friend Luke Britsky, who is a Towson grad, we're name dropping here on the show. You guys may remember him as an Auburn beat writer back. It's been a while now, B-Matt. What, 8 years maybe?
Has it been that long?
Luke texted Brian and I this morning. He is at the Buffalo Trace Distillery in Frankfort, Kentucky this morning, little bastard. Ooh. I wish I was there. I feel like he should have invited me at least. But the pictures were nice. So I hope he has a good time over there with all that delicious bourbon that I don't have here on my table.
Did they brew? I mean, I don't know if brew is the right word, but do they make some of your best bourbons there? Like some that you like to drink?
Brew? You mean distill?
Yeah, distill. That's the word.
Of course. Absolutely. Blanton's, Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare. Absolutely. Delicious. All of them. And they can't even keep up with demand. It's like the perfect business because they make so much money they don't even know what to do with it. And what's weird is that I went to college in Kentucky and I never drank. I don't even know if they made that shit, but they probably did. But I never paid attention to it. Like, you're in college and I'm drinking Maker's Mark basically every day, and I felt like that was all I needed. I don't know. I didn't. That was
the premium of bourbon back in the day.
I thought so, and I was right there where they made it. My dad was born in like a little rural hospital, right like a mile from the Maker's Mark distillery. It's called Loretto, Kentucky. It's a true story. Anyway, they used to have gold makers. Do you remember gold makers?
I do not remember that.
Yeah, they had gold. It was like higher proof. They don't do that anymore. Also, the game day meal. I definitely want to get this up to see exactly what Gus said the game day meal was. I don't think I have it up anymore. Unfortunately, I know he said it was spaghetti, steak, salad, potatoes, green beans. And he said we keep that the same pretty much every week. I was like, God, man, I'm sure they want something better than that, right?
Yeah, a little variety.
Yeah, they need
maybe
some
taco, maybe some, make your own tacos or something. That'd be good.
I wonder if Coach Ryan Russell's the one behind this. I'm going to have to talk to Ryan about this. Did have a chance to interview him, though, during the coach's availability slot there on like August 15th. It was the first time we interviewed him in 4 years or whatever. I really did push.
It was the worst time to interview him.
I know. I begged him when we had the dinner at his house. I was like, seriously, come on, man. You got to give me Ryan Russell. Well, we can do that maybe on the coach's day. I was like, I was thinking about an exclusive for auburnsports.com, but, whatever. Brian Matthews, as mentioned during the pre-show, for those of you who are watching on the YouTube, attended the game in the swamp in 1994. Yep. And I want to hear your memories of that. That was probably a pretty happy thing.
It was definitely one of the best road trips I've ever been on. Me and Yvonne were just recently married, and we're just having a great time going on the road, following Auburn, being fans. This is before I was a journalist. And I just remember that being one of the most exciting wins that I've ever been a part of. Similar to the 93 Iron Bowl or the 89 Iron Bowl, first time ever, of course, and some other ones. I've been to a bunch of them. Reverse to Victory, and Birmingham was another great one I was at. But I remember the crowd was really, really loud and really into it. There was a Florida fan with a cape in front of us that was acting like a fool the whole game. And we definitely had some things to say to him afterwards. We made him cry, I believe. Not really, but hopefully. And, man, those Florida fans were so mad after that game, just really, really pissed that Auburn had beat them again when they were a highly ranked team. Because Auburn had come back and beat them pretty good in 93. If I remember, they're about to go up maybe 21-0, and Auburn had a pick six and sort of turned the whole game around there. I think it was Calvin Jackson, if I'm not mistaken. So Florida was pretty upset with Auburn that day.
Yeah, well, it happens, man. You go into their house and beat them when they were in that. Spurrier was just had just gotten up to the very top there. I mean, they won their title in 96, but they were really good in 94.
Yeah. And back when Auburn played Florida every year, I felt like Florida was one of the worst places to go as far as fans, being rude or obnoxious. It was that type of trip. Now it's definitely Georgia. It's not even close. But back then it was Florida.
I think that Florida has the loudest stadium. I thought it was the loudest that I've been to. So for what it's worth, everybody talks about Death Valley, and it is loud there, but I just felt like Florida was louder. We'll get to that later. There's a shout out involving that. So a quick look at this game specifically on both sides of the ball. Hunter Adams has this pretty much covered on the front page of our site right now on the Know the Enemy piece. Hunter's the man, who does a very detailed personnel look at Florida, both on offense and defense, and a little bit on special teams, and then about what he thinks is going to happen in the game. This guy has a pretty good eye for these things. Although he picked Auburn to lose 2 weeks ago, I think.
Well, so did a lot of us, and we were wrong.
Yeah, no, not this guy.
Yeah.
I had the Auburn Tigers. Dude, if Auburn played the Patriots right now, I'm taking Auburn, okay? I just don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Okay. I don't want to be the guy who's like, Mormons don't even care. That's not about caring. The Florida offense so far, kind of highs and lows. Of course, they're using their backup quarterback right now because Felipe Franks is out for the season with an ankle injury or a lower leg injury of some kind. They're sixth in scoring. It's crazy to think they average 34 points a game, and that's sixth these days, because back when I was younger, that would be a lot of points. They're 11th in rushing at 140 yards a game, which is crazy to think that's 11th in the league. And their passing's pretty good. They have a 75% completion percentage this year so far, which has gone up since Kyle Trask took over. Felipe was not a huge passing percentage guy. B-Matt, your thoughts kind of on this offense? It looks like you can stop the run game and make them one-dimensional, but they're kind of making it work so far like that.
Yeah, I think they're a little bit questionable at tackle, and I think it's an area that Auburn could be really successful at. You've seen Derek Brown moving out to defensive end a lot.
Yeah.
The past couple of games, so I think he can have some success out there in pass rushing situations. Him and Marlon Davidson can really collapse that pocket quick and bother Trask. And so I'd be surprised if Florida's able to score a lot of points against Auburn's defense. I really think this is a great matchup on that side of the ball for Auburn.
It's going to have to be in the passing game, and that's the only thing it can be. And Florida tends to throw high percentage, low risk throws, and Auburn tends to concede those, but they will tackle you and get you down to the ground. So I don't know. They're going to have to piecemeal a lot of drives. If they're going to score a lot of touchdowns, they're going to need 15-play drives to get there, I think. On defense, Florida's a little bit more salty. They're leading the SEC right now with 8.8 points allowed per game. That's first, although you could question who they're playing. They haven't played, aside from Kentucky, they haven't really played anybody. I mean, they played the Jamboree game against Miami, and then they played, Tennessee, who sucks. Towson sucks. And UT Martin, I think. They suck, too. They're second in the league in rush defense. They do have a nice defensive line and some pretty good linebackers. And they're fourth against the pass, and they have 9 picks. They lead the league in picks right now, B-Matt.
And I think that's because those two defensive ends, Greenard and Zuniga, both very athletic, can get to the quarterback quickly. And of course, their coordinator, who I forget his name, but
Todd Grantham.
Used to be at Georgia.
Todd Grantham.
Todd Grantham likes to be really, really aggressive. So he's going to take a lot of risks, do a lot of different things. And that's why I think Auburn is going to find ways to get some big plays, maybe even early, take some shots, and see if they can't get ahead and quiet the crowd a little bit. That's what I think is going to happen early in this game for Auburn.
So let's think about this. If you're going against a team that has really good ends who can crash down and stuff, how would you exploit them? Well, first of all, you're probably not going to run side to side, at least initially, right?
Right.
Because they're going to.
But they do have a pretty good nose guard up there, plug in the middle too. Good interior linebackers.
So you're thinking about draws, and you're thinking about quick throws to the flats to take advantage of their pursuit. Their zealous pursuit on the outside would be what I would think, and they try to inside zone them up the middle a little bit to try to take advantage of those creases where the ends come crashing down. You can cut through the B gaps there. Could be a thought. And also Anthony Schwartz can do that too. Pre-snap motion, he can kind of pull those guys out a little bit.
Yeah, and I don't think their two defensive ends are really big, bulky guys. So I think if Tega and Driscoll can lock into them, they can get some drive into them and push them around a little bit. So I wouldn't rule out some outside runs against these guys. I know they're pretty quick, but if Auburn can find a way to get to that edge, they might be able to have some success outside too.
Spencer Nye can be a factor too. He's been a hard-hitting dude this whole year. And he may be able to displace some of these Florida ends. He's been displacing a lot of dudes this year, I'll tell you that. I don't want to ruin the sanctity of the pick'em, so we'll just say we'll leave the picks until Saturday morning, which I haven't done yet. B-Matt always on my ass about it. I actually woke up at like 4 a.m. Last Saturday morning, and I was like, oh, my God, I haven't done my picks yet, and that's when I put them in. That's officially the latest it's ever been done. It's pathetic. I need to do a better job. So anyway, Auburn, Florida, 2:30 on CBS. Let's see if there's any questions here in the chat that they would like to know. B-Matt. Let's see. Papo and Britt together are going to be the best linebacker duo in Auburn history for the years to come? ?
Probably only for one more year to come. And, Britt could technically leave after this year. I don't have any reason to believe that's going to happen, but yeah. Year to come.
Brandon says he was there in 94 as well in the swamp in the middle of the Florida student section. He said that was glorious. He was in enemy territory, B-Matt.
Nice.
Project Clash says he wishes he had some voodoo wings up here in Wisconsin. Sweet tea and wings, yum. That's what Jay Lee drinks, right?
That's right.
A little sweet tea and wings. Okay. Chip had to bounce. Ethan says he's watching this show right now at a Buffalo Wild Wings with some Florida fans. Doing some day drinking. And Chase says he's got Auburn winning 34-23. Sounds like a pretty good number right there.
Yeah.
I'd probably take that. I would take that. All right, moving on. Let's go through the SEC schedule real quick for the weekend. The 11 a.m. game on the SEC network is the Utah State Aggies, I believe, against the hated LSU Tigers. I believe that line is 34 points, B-Matt. Probably not going to be an upset there, huh?
Probably not, no. 34 points seems like a lot. I'd be a little scared to even take the points.
Yeah, me too. Real quick, a question that's coming in from the chat. Chris asks, do you think Auburn's defense will expose this new quarterback who, as you said, really hasn't faced a good team? Kyle Trask. Your thoughts, B-Matt?
I do. I really do. And the dog looks like he really has to go outside right now, so I better hop.
Okay. Biscuit's got to go outside, so we're going to go without Brian for the moment. We didn't really need him right now anyway. Going through the SEC schedule, the rest of it, the second game is the 2:30, of course, the featured game, Auburn at Florida on the CBS. I believe Auburn's...
Biscuit was really wanting to go outside, so.
Biscuit. Auburn at Florida. I think Auburn is a 3-point favorite in that one. Is that right, B-Matt?
That sounds right.
Sure, yes. Okay. The 3 o'clock game on the SEC Network is Troy at Missouri. I believe that's a 25-point line. And the Troy Trojans, if you guys haven't been paying attention this year, of course, head coach is Chip Lindsey. Offensive coordinator is Ryan Pugh. Defensive line coach is Davern Williams, who was at Auburn when I first got here. A lot of Auburn flavor on that Troy team.
Wait, Davern Williams is there? I didn't realize that. Wow.
Indeed.
Good for him.
Yeah, he's one of the good guys. Played at Jeff Davis in Montgomery, went to Auburn, and then he transferred to Troy and finished out down there.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. 6 o'clock game on ESPN. The Georgia Bulldogs against the hated Tennessee Volunteers. I hope the line on that's about $5 million because that's what's going to happen in that game. Georgia's pretty much going to dismantle Tennessee and put them at 1-4. Phil Fulmer says he's not interested in coaching anymore, but I'm calling bullshit on that.
I am totally too. Yep. That guy's got such a huge ego. He's just not going to be able to help himself.
Oh, man. I just can't get enough of Tennessee losing either. I really enjoy watching it. I'm going to be honest.
That program's been a train wreck for a long time, man. Could you imagine Auburn if it was Tennessee right now?
Well, I don't think Auburn will ever be Tennessee because Auburn always has recruits nearby, and Tennessee's kind of by itself up there.
Yeah.
Trying to get kids from wherever.
Yep. You've got to recruit nationally if you're at Tennessee. You've got to.
But they can't. And Nebraska's the same thing, right? I mean, Nebraska's getting killed out there because they're relying on kids from Nebraska and Iowa and wherever the hell else they're getting kids, and they don't get kids from Southern Cal anymore or South Florida.
Well, those mid-'90s Nebraska teams got tons of players from Florida and California and all over.
Well, hell yeah. I mean, but that was 20-something years ago, bro.
30, yep.
Elston.
Yeah, 20. You're right, 20, yeah.
Elston's on the chat, and he says, Davern's a good dude. He was my high school teammate. First of all, congratulations on being from Montgomery. Good people. And, Davern was a really good high school player. Really good.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if Davern would have played with Rojo. I'm thinking Rojo would have been young, like Davern would have been a senior when Rojo was maybe like a sophomore or freshman. He'll be able to answer that. That was when Jeff Davis. That was really Jeff Davis's last stand, I guess, when Davern and Robert Johnson were there. Also getting on here, the 6:30 game on the SEC Network is Vanderbilt at Ole Miss, a game that not a lot of people are going to be watching, but I think the Rebels are going to pull that one out, B-Matt. Yeah, he tends to.
For some reason, I thought Vanderbilt was going to be pretty good in the preseason. Apparently, I was wrong, but I'm not ready to quite give up on them yet.
Okay. So you think it'll at least be close?
I think there's a chance, yeah.
All right. Yeah, you have it from the horse's mouth right there.
There you go.
Let's go on to shout-outs, B-Matt. I know you got a few.
I do have a few. Okay, so I think it was yesterday, OFA_coder posted a pretty innocuous question on the bunker. He said he got a $150 gift card for an AU online store for his birthday. Congratulations, happy birthday. And asked for advice on what to buy. I mean, that seems like a pretty simple question. Tiger D says hookers and blow.
Of course.
Pretty standard for the bunker, right? Jim Potter 23 says State of Auburn t-shirts is the correct answer.
No, that is not the correct answer. Come on.
That elicits some responses, certainly. And then Mike CB22, who's gotten too many shout-outs to even count, says a bag of hair. Now, I don't quite get that, a bag of hair.
A bag of hair.
It just made me laugh.
And who said that again, B-Matt?
Is OFA coder bald?
But who made that comment?
I can't hear you.
About the bag of hair.
Yeah, Mike B22, a bag of hair. I didn't get that one.
Because he's a creeper, that's why.
Yeah. Well, maybe OFA needs some hair. I don't know.
Yeah.
Kling says, CLING, as many jerseys and cargo shorts as that car will buy. Might be a shot at the Florida Gators because they're known to wear their cargo shorts or their jorts.
Jorts.
Either ones.
Jorts.
Could be. And then finally, Lewis3883 says, orange and blue dildos sounds like a good fit for you.
Oh, Lewis. Lewis.
That wasn't very nice.
He sounds so studious when he's on the brain drain. Lewis does.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But he's a renegade on the bunker. All right, you got anything else, B-Matt?
That's it.
All right, I've got a few here myself. One of them was a little salty as well. D-Wood Tiger starts a thread. Florida field looking beautiful today with a capital AU. He's basically lamping because he's there. He's already at the stadium and took a picture of the field. He says, I wish we'd paint our end zones like this with the orange or navy because their end zone's filled in. Also, the blue boundaries appear to be a nice newish touch on the field. I said, for my ears, this is the loudest stadium, as I told you guys. Jester87 says, this is a great inside joke. Do you think the stadium will be rocking Saturday? I was making a reference on the bunker the other day. There's always somebody who says, well, the stadium will be rocking. And Gus says that sometimes. And there's always some wise guy who says that. And it just makes me laugh. And thank you, Jester, for being that guy for me. I'm glad there's always somebody. Tiger, the famous or infamous, depending on how you look at it, Tiger starts a thread. I'm not even going to lie. I can't shake this feeling that AU finna bus all over the swamp down in Gainesville this weekend. A shout out to Antonio Brown with the busing line, which I always take literally as like bus. We're going to take a bus. Cowardly Toaster says, I bet they'd make the basketball team hitchhike. Because I took the bus thing. I said, hey, guys, stop making fun of Allen. He's letting them fly. They're not going to have to bus. I love playing that little game. Cowardly Toaster says, I bet they'll make the basketball team hitchhike. Jimmy Chaff says, and this made me cry when I saw it, I heard they only have 80 seats, so some will have to fly in the luggage area.
That could be true. I mean,
that could be. Hell, there's not even enough spots in the locker room for everybody. I mean, like true. Malcolm asked you.
Absolutely. There's like 80 something. Not every scholarship player gets a locker room.
No, if you're in the bottom 10 slots, you got to go in the other changing room.
Yeah.
Gus, I was making fun of Gus about that during the summer, and he said, well, that was me. He said he had to change in the hallway, damn near in the bathroom.
Yeah, but he wasn't even a scholarship player.
No, he wasn't. No, I wasn't very good back then. I had to get better. So anyway, this whole meme about how, Alan Green won't let people travel, it basically started because of baseball, but this concept that Alan Green is so tight with the money that he won't even let him, he makes him hitchhike and stuff. I cannot get enough of this. I just love it so much. So thank you for keeping that going, Cowardly Toaster and Jimmy Chaff. Also, special shout-outs to ERL0005 and Chip for helping me kind of off the board a little bit with some stuff dealing with my daughter and going to college. So thank you guys for that for show. Also to the folks who are on our chat here on the show, on the YouTube show. Bunch of folks on here. Chris has been here a while. Brandon's been here a while. Let's see. Project Clash has been here a while. Daniel, Chip, William Taylor, BP, of course, was in the house earlier. AU Law said he was about to get on a flight headed to Gainesville. Evan's been with us as well, and some others, Charles as well. Charles, Cleveland Browns with us all the time on here, so thanks. Mongo says, Killa Kong is my brother. Thanks. That's good. Killa Kong's poster. Ethan thinks that Florida's offensive line is going to get bullied, Brian Matthews.
They might.
Could happen. Chase gives a hearty war damn, and I think we're going to wrap it up right there. So, shout out, of course, to our friends at Voodoo Wing Company for their support of what we do here at auburnsports.com. If you have not been over there, give them an opportunity to earn your business because the food's delicious and you're going to be blown away by just how clean it is. They take a lot of care on that. Jan runs a tight ship over there, put it that way. Also to our friends at Lynch Toyota of Auburn, if you're in the market for a new or used Toyota vehicle, that's the spot to go. They have a great selection of vehicles. I love Toyota. Brian loves Toyota. Jeffrey Lee now drives a Toyota truck. The only person is young Nate, and I think young Nate's just broke. He's a broke college student,
Yeah.
One of these days, he'll get his earnings up, and he'll get himself a Toyota. Feel pretty confident about it. Also, check them out on the website at lynchtoyotaofauburn.com. Also, to our awesome subscribers, thank you guys very much for your support of what we do here. God bless each and every one of you. We couldn't do this without you. And we love you, Brian. I love you. Brian loves you. Jeffrey Lee loves you. Nate loves you less because he's just kind of learning how this works. Young Nate. But we tell him the stories about how important our subscribers are. If you're not a subscriber, please join. We would like that. It's about $8.25 a month if you get annual, and you get access to the greatest message board in the history of the internet, plus all the great stuff Brian Matthews writes, all the stuff that young Nate writes, Jeffrey Lee's recruiting stories, updates, nuggets, dispatches. Hoop scoops. Forgot about that, too. A lot going on in that world. You can check that out if you're a member at auburnsports.com. Somebody in here, let's see. Chris says he just subscribed to the site.
Hey, thank you, Chris.
I don't know if I should say your handle, though. I feel like I'd be outing you, but thank you if that is true. Brandon says the ghost of Tallahassee Tiger is a degenerate. That's not very nice.
Wow. We should warn Chris, though. His first post could elicit some very not nice responses.
Yeah, sometimes the bunker can be a little tough on new posters, but it's okay. Yeah. It'll be fine. They'll just
little hazing. You can deal with it.
Yes, sir. Listen, I like to tell you guys this on the weekends. You're going to probably be out there this weekend. And, you're an Auburn person. Maybe you're going down to Gainesville. You're going to be surrounded by a bunch of Gators. Maybe you're in the office around some Georgia fans, LSU fans, God forbid, Kentucky people.
Jeez.
Just remember that you're awesome. And because you're an Auburn person, you're on a higher level. And just rise above it, man. Just be strong. And before we go, we have someone on the chat here named Yvonne. She says, "Don't forget to let Biscuit back in."
I won't forget to take care of her baby.
It is very warm outside.
Her favorite. Yeah, that's right.
It's her favorite dog?
No, it's her favorite person, human being, dog, you name it.
Oh,
it's number one on the list.
Above you?
Oh yeah.
Be Matt. You're such a loyal dude too, man.
Biscuit's more loyal.
It's really kind of shameful, Yvonne, how often we are just like, he just drones on and on about how great his wife is. I'm just like, dude, stop, man. I mean, we know her. Like, we don't need to keep hearing this story, 55 times about how great your wife is. I mean, we get it. Seriously, just something else, please. All right, guys. Anyway, be strong, be great, be you. See you guys next time. Until then, keep your feet on the ground and keep reaching for the stars.
Oh, yeah.
That was a long show, B-Matt.
Yeah, we're on video, so we had to stretch it a little bit.
I was like, wait, if you're on video, you like to stretch it a little bit?
Yes. I've got some videos I need to show you next time.
Wow. Don't
Just
post
kidding.
them to the bunker.
I don't have any videos at all.
I don't want to ban you. All right, so you guys are going to roll down toward Valdosta, and you're going to eat at, quote, a barbecue place.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know which one?
That is the actual plan, yes. There's a barbecue place called...
oh, you have a name.
Okay. I'll find it here.
Where is it located?
Let me see if I can figure it out. I know you're enthralled by this. Smoking Pig Barbecue in Valdosta.
Why there?
Caldwell said it was a great barbecue place, so I trust his word.
I definitely trust Caldwell's word.
Yes.
Trusted associate Jason Caldwell of Inside the Auburn Tigers, a guy we love very much.
Yes.
You probably love him more than me. I feel like you guys are tighter than me and him. Although he and I buy pork skins together every Sunday night.
I've heard good things about that.
It's bonding. Yeah, if you guys are in Auburn, so there's a new gas station over, I don't know the names of the streets.
It's over there by the railroad tracks on Donahue.
Yeah, it's called Weagles, and they make their own pork skins in there. Like, seriously, and they're warm. They keep them under the warmer. I've never had warm pork skins in my life. They're always like in a bag, and so I rolled up there, and it changed my life. Like, seriously, it's like the highlight of my whole week. The Sunday night, I got to go in there with Caldwell and get some. I get the ranch ones and the taco seasoning, and then he gets sweet heat.
You know what? I'm going to give him a try Sunday.
You thinking you're going to roll over there?
I'm not a pork skin kind of guy, but I'm willing to give him a try. I mean, you got to experience different things in life, right, JG?
Yeah. That's what I say. My wife won't touch him, but she doesn't know what she's talking about. She's from Kentucky. Whatever. All right, I guess that's going to wrap it up, B-Matt. I guess we can wrap up the video at that point. Thank you guys for watching. And as it says there on the screen, I'm ready for more DJ Williams while Brian he loves Valdosta this time of year. Brian's going to stay there with young Nate, roll it down to Gainesville, and then back to Valdosta and then home on Sunday, right?
That's the plan.
And I can pick that up if you need me to. Just saying. On Sunday afternoon. And then pro day today. There's literally nobody left to cover this. Do you think it's worth covering, or no?
Probably not.
I might just slide over there just to see what's up, see what's going on. I mean, you went to pro day last year, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Was it practice or was it like something different? Do you remember?
They just did a practice in front of scouts, and you talked to some players about it.
Okay.
Basically.
I mean, it's not like I'm going to meet Dr. J or anything, right?
I don't think so, no.
Or Kevin Durant won't be there. All right, man. We'll wrap it up there, guys. Have a great day. If you're going down to Gainesville, be careful. Enjoy the trip, but be careful. And watch out for the Gator fans. But the ones in the jorts, you got to really be careful.
Yeah, they're trouble.
Yeah, they are trouble for sure. And if you're not going down there and you're just going to be drinking and hanging out, just drink responsibly. That's all I ask. And we'll be doing the brain drain after the game, as we usually do, about 30 minutes after the game ends. I like to let Gus do his press conference. You can listen to it on the radio if you choose, and then we try to pick it up there, and we'll be drinking. I don't know. I'm going to go pick up something at the ABC store to see what we can drink. I don't know, what do you think I ought to be drinking, B-Matt? I mean, if you were drinking bourbon,
I
what
think
would
you
you
should
choose?
make like a girl drink or something, like a big fruity thing.
No, I'm drinking straight bourbon. That's the only thing we do.
I think you should shake it up some. Be funny. Get like a giant thing with pineapples coming out and all sorts of crazy stuff.
Yeah. We'll just let you handle the beat writing, and I'll handle the drinking, okay? All right, man. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Later.